Hi everyone, very welcome to Making Connections and Friends by KCLSU. I hope you're all having a great day and congratulations on becoming King students. Today we're going to talk through some tips about how to kind of meet other students, make connections with different communities, and your host today will be Redwan, who's one of our Hub's shift leaders. Over to you, Redwan.
Hello everyone, welcome. As Lisa said, my name is Redwan. I'm a postgraduate student right now at King's. I'm just finishing up my degree and I work in hubs. You'll find out later what that is as I go through my presentation. So I'll just kick off. Just so you all know, there's a Q&A at the end. So just like keep all your questions in mind and then you can ask us at the end. And I'll try to breeze through this. So first of all, welcome to KCLSU. Congratulations. We're looking forward to you starting at King's and being part of our student community. Fun fact, it's one of the oldest, or I think the oldest student union in the country. And again, if you didn't know, just by being a King's student, you're automatically a member of the Students' Union. We are run entirely by students, for students. All the high up decisions, they're done so with student input, and I'll go through some of your representatives in future slides. We are your home from home, and we cannot wait for you to join our community. And as you'll see as I go along, there's honestly something for everyone, regardless of what your interest might be. And also, this may be kind of slightly underutilized given the current circumstances, but we have many campuses dotted around London. I think 5 different campuses that you can be, you can kind of enjoy our services from. So welcome 2020, different ways you can connect. So in KCLSU, this will be, I think, our first ever virtual welcome fair that we hold from the 24th to the 26th of this month. And you can meet and attend various online events through the Attendify app, I believe, that you can download from kind of any app store that you're a part of. And different groups and societies, they'll have slots allocated to them. So you can join kind of the various live sessions. There'll be like Q&A with kind of committee members of the different groups. So you can take part in those. On campus, we still have our venues and spaces that will slowly start to reopen and follow social distance guidelines and from the government and the King's guidelines. Our food and drink venues, as well as our shops, they will be open for everyone to use. There will be other online events that will be run by us alongside kind of these ones that you're attending. Some of our offices that will also be running events, our student groups, and networks. And I'll go more into what these are if you don't know what they are. We're here for all students, new students, returning students, international students, UK students, postgraduate students, including PhD students. Welcome, it runs from August with online events starting things off till kind of early mid-October. So what are the benefits of being a member of KCLSU? You might be wondering. There are many benefits. We have over 300 groups and societies for you to join. They range from Bhangra to baking. We have it all. If you can think of it, we probably have it. And if there's a group that you feel like doesn't exist, there are procedures where you can set up new groups. The best way to kind of experience your time, experience what these groups do and how you can join them is probably the digital welcome fair. You can sign up and get involved with them. You can speak to the committee members and figure out what they're about. And yeah, that would be a good place to start. So top tips kind of for connecting with other students during your early time at university. Simply just say hi to others in your halls. You're all basically in the same boat. And you know, given the circumstances, everyone's kind of nervous and everyone's kind of trying to figure out what's going on. So don't be afraid to kind of strike up a conversation with the stranger, find out what course they're on, etc. And you never know what will click with them. One of the easiest way to kind of make friends, what I found from my time at university, is kind of join both online and offline events. Even if you don't know someone, more likely than not, you'll find someone with similar interests because you're both attending the same event. And societies, basically. And like I mentioned before, the best way to do that is download the Welcome app and find out kind of more about groups and societies you'd like to join. And you'll find loads of like-minded people. And again, just to reiterate, the fair is digital this year, and you can join through the app on these dates that you can see on your screen. Look out for other events that might also be coming up as part of our KCLSU campaigns and projects. Wellbeing Week is a big one, and there's usually cute dogs involved in these. But early October is a lot of things. There's the Black History Month campaign, there's elections going on, and there's a lot of kind of events that spill over kind of from Welcome Week. So it's a really good time for you to kind of meet more people, make new friends, find out other people on your course, find out who your course reps are, and if you're interested, you can run as a course rep. I'll go more into these. And these are great people to kind of know, make friends with, and seek support from if you need it. There'll be socially distant and safe social events ranging from quizzes, pizza nights. You can book a table for these events. You can come in and enjoy our food and drinks with new friends that you're making. Our networks, again, I'll go into what these are. They include lots of different people from different backgrounds, like First Generation Network, LGBT plus network, Women's Network, etc. You can get involved and again, meet like-minded people from similar communities here on campus. The last few tips kind of are being open-minded about kind of the events that you go to. Especially for me, I remember when I started uni, try not to be as selective as kind of what events you go to, because you never know what you will end up liking. And a huge positive of being at King's is the diverse student community that you'll find, and it's unparalleled compared to other campuses. And another pro tip is speaking to kind of the students that have done it before. So second and third years, they've been through what you have, and undoubtedly will have some good tips for you. There will also be student officers that are elected to help you, so don't hesitate to kind of get in touch with them with any issues that you have or campaigns that you think should be made a priority. Come say hi at our Hubs desks. As I mentioned, I work at Hubs desk. So this is like a frontline service. So it's kind of like reception, where if you have any issues, we usually have the answer to you. If you have any queries or need help with something, directions, no matter what it is, there's venue staff that you can speak to. We're all students as well, so generally speaking, we would most likely know the answers to the silliest of questions you may have, but there are no silly questions during freshers or ever. So just feel free, if you have any questions, just pop by one of our desks. They usually signpost it and just ask any questions that you might have. If you're heading out for the day or the evening, stay safe. Try to only go out with people you trust and know how to get home, and know how, like, where you're going. Make sure someone knows where you're going, etc. The usual stuff. It can feel a bit overwhelming and too much, and that's okay. Don't worry. There's a range of ways we can help you. KCLSU and KCO have lots of support networks, from house wardens to personal tutors, KCO and KCLSU ambassadors. Especially this year, it will be a very different and unique start to your university career than you probably imagined. So take your time, go at your own pace, and ease yourself. There's no rush. Online studying as well might feel quite different. We have some top tips on our website. There's some blogs on how you can tackle this and make the most of it. So do check out those and some other tips that we have for students starting this academic year. Welcome events. So we have loads of online events that you can join and sign up for, from Q&A with our officers to socials for postgrads, international students, you name it. You can find out all the events. They're listed on our website, I believe, and you can also sign up from there. So that should be fine. And I know some people, they kind of had queries about how they can do that. The way you log into the website is literally your KCL login details, so that shouldn't be a problem. Sports as well. We have over 70 different sports groups that are open to people at every level, whether you're a beginner, whether you want to be a professional athlete, you name it, there's something for you. We also have sports events throughout the year, such as Varsity, Macadam Cup, and This Girl Can, and various other competitive events. And if that wasn't enough, we also have volunteering and fundraising for you to be involved in. We have over 50 student-led volunteering and fundraising groups that aim to make a difference to the local community or raise money for a good cause. Last year, our groups raised thousands of pounds and had a great time while doing it. And it even involves cuddling of cute puppies, as you can see in the picture, with our doggy de-stress events, working with local dog charities. Similarly, we have liberation networks. This is what I spoke about or alluded to in the previous slides. These are student communities made up of individuals, groups, societies, and clubs who aim to combat discrimination, oppression, and inequality faced by some students and some communities. And these tend to be from marginalized groups of society. So these networks connect, highlight current and ongoing issues, and empower us collectively to bring change, whether these are changes on campus or in the local community or just wider campaigns. Networks include mature LGBT+, people of color, disabled, first generation, women's, international, and family communities. Campaigning for change. For issues affecting students at King's and the things happening in the wider world, we can make change together through KCLSU campaigns. These are done through societies that take part in these campaigns, networks that take part in campaigns, or even as an individual, you can take part in these campaigns. Bottom line is, if you want to make a difference, there's a way for you to do it, and we can do it together. Student leaders, this is something that you might be interested in, especially as new students. With autumn and spring elections, you know, we choose where some of our representatives are elected. We choose elected officers, trustees, academic reps, and Liberation Network leaders. The one that would be of most interest to you is probably academic reps and some positions from the previous year that were left out. I'm not sure which ones these were from the top of my head, but academic reps for sure will be open this upcoming month, where you can choose to represent your kind of cohort, if you will. And I'll go into that later on in a bit. But essentially, these student leaders, they work with the student community and King's to really make a difference in your student experience. Some of the recent wins include the postgraduate student discount, exam and assessment safety nets for the results last year, and even NAP pods on campus. So these are some of the executive officers, 6 of them in total. If you kind of had a ranking system for your student representation system, these 6 kind of sit at the top of it. They're in meetings with the highest of university management, so like principals, vice principals, and they represent you in these high-level meetings. Make a note of these. They're up on our website, ways to contact them, and you probably see them around on campus. So feel free to kind of drop them a line, go up to them, chat to them. You can see their manifesto pledges, etc. And they'll be running a host of events throughout the year. So feel free to kind of pop a line to them and just speak to them. Becoming an academic rep. So they build, what do academic reps do? As I explained, they kind of represent your cohort, your immediate cohort, and put forward issues to the university team, or the department team rather. They build a community by facilitating conversations and discussions with their classmates and find solutions to these issues. If you become one, you will be trained and supported by KCLSU. You help and you will help build a stronger community in your class and course. You'll be improving the academic experience with your fellow students. And these are just some academic associations that are listed, and you may fall into one of these as well if you are elected. Student media. And again, like I said, there's literally something for everyone. So if this is something that interests you, you can take part in it. So student media is where you try out and develop your skills with our own student-led radio, TV, journalism, photography, and DJing. We have a student media suite, which might be limited access due to circumstances right now, but for sure over the period of next few months, this as kind of the circumstances start easing and being a bit more favorable, these are things that you can utilize as well. Our venues and cafe, so you can see the shack for coffee and stuff. We have food and drink venues across Guys and Strand campuses. From our famous curly fries to coffees, we cater to a range of dietary requirements, including vegan options, vegetarian options, halal options, gluten-free options, you name it. We also have chill-out spaces in our cafes and our spaces in Denmark Hill, including a very beautiful garden at that space. Our union shop is also the place where you can get all of your King's merchandise and get kitted out and truly represent King's while you're out and about in London. From hoodies to keep you warm to stationery and snacks. You can visit them at Bush House and online. KCLSU Hubs, the place where I work. So KCLSU has hubs desk and offices across all of our campuses, and they're really visible and they're usually signposted as to where they are. you can visit our desks and ask questions to our student staff called Hubbies with any inquiries that you have. The hubs can help you with anything from booking a room to purchasing a club or society membership to signposting helpful things at the Union and in King's. And if you want to know more or have a question, you can contact us at this email address. You can make a note of it, but I'm pretty sure it's on our website, and literally like at all of your emails and everything, you can ask us questions via Facebook chat. You can pop by and say hello at the hubs desk across campuses. Our website also has a lot of information covering everything that we do. And you can follow us on social media to kind of keep up to date. I know this was a lot of information. Feel free to ask us any questions you have, and all of this information is also on our website and our blogs and stuff. And we look forward to seeing you all soon. Welcome to KCLSU.
Thanks a million, Redwan. And there's over 200 of you listening here today. So I think just remember that there's 200 of you and thousands of other students all in the same boat. So although it might be a bit nerve-wracking, and especially in current circumstances, thinking about coming to uni, there is so many different ways that you can meet new people, so many ways that you can connect with like-minded individuals and communities, all the different things that Redwan went through. So there's a lot on offer. So I think my advice would also be take advantage of as much as possible and try new things. And if you don't like them, then that's no problem. You might meet somebody interesting kind of through that as well. So I've opened the live Q&A, so please start to add your questions there, and I'm going to read them out, and Radwan and I will try and answer them as much as we can. This presentation and the Q&A will also be recorded and then added to the chat on this event invite. So if you want to go back and look at that recording, just to make sure you can have a look at the presentation or any more detailed information, it'll all be there. In addition, as Redwan said, there's the website and our social media feeds that has lots of different things, and we also have a chat bot, a Reggie bot. Reggie is the official mascot lion of King's, so you can go and speak to your Reggie bot via Facebook too if you have any random questions. Right, we're going to start going through. Let's see what you've all got to ask. So the first one, is the Union Shop open already? So the online Union Shop is open, and the Union Shop, the one that you can go to in person, that's going to be open as of next week. So Lorna from our shop is in here getting everything ready. There's some gorgeous hoodies and stuff like that. Go and take a look, but you can also order things online to send as presents and gifts to people back home and stuff like that too. Next one, what advice would you give to students on meeting people and making friends for kind of January and then also October? So I think with that, and Redwan, feel free to jump in, a lot of the events that we do continue throughout term, and all the different groups and societies and all those different activities also can continue throughout term. So I think if you're arriving to the UK a little bit late in October, you don't need to worry about that. These kind of online events will continue as well as in-person ones. And we are also planning to have a kind of second mini welcome in January, because we're quite aware that a lot of students will be starting, in particular, I think, postgrads in January. So we'll be doing more of all of this kind of stuff again. So don't worry that you'll feel like you're missing out on anything in September, because we know from King's a lot of people will be arriving late and kind of coming in dribs and drabs. We're making sure that all the different things happening continue. And with the Welcome Fair, it's obviously on the 24th, 25th and 26th through the Attendify app. You can do that from wherever you are in the world, and it's a great way to chat to other people. If you download it after this, you can see people already starting to chat to each other through it. So you can do that from wherever, and even once the fair is over, you can contact groups and societies through that too. So what was the name of the app for the virtual freshers event? It's called Attendify, but if you want to find it on the App Store, you just need to Google KCLSU Welcome, and it's free, and away you go. And as soon as you start logging in, because the fair hasn't started yet, but you can start to chat to people, and you'll see lots of people having chats and saying, hey, I'm on this course, or hey, I'm in these halls, and then they start to kind of chat to each other. So that's a really great way to actually start making connections before you're even on site. Would you recommend me joining societies now online, even if I only arrive in January? I think yes, because a lot of groups and societies, like everyone and everything in the world, are adapting. We've done a lot of digital training to make sure all our presidents and society leaders are kind of digital first and digital savvy. So they'll be running a lot online, obviously, to make sure that we're kind of following guidelines and keeping people safe. So yes, go for it still if you're not here, definitely. So somebody else has asked about the fair. You don't need to register. All you need to do is just download the app and away you go. And how can you sign up for volunteer groups? So through the Welcome Fair, there'll be some volunteering groups there. I think there's at least about 30 or so from different kind of charities and all sorts of things within London and the UK. So that's a good way to do it. If you go to our website as well, there's a whole section on volunteering, and you'll start to see all the different volunteering opportunities coming up during term 1 and beyond there that you can sign up for. When would you advise to start signing up to groups? I think you can sign up pretty much straight away. And Red One, am I correct in that a lot of societies do kind of like taster sessions as well?
Yeah, and these run, so I think for the previous question, these run into the second term as well. So you have nothing to worry about. There'll be like taster sessions dotted throughout the year. And I'm conscious that some groups have started booking kind of online events for their members already. So that's something, just have a look at the groups. I think they have like Facebook pages there on our website as well, like specific groups, and you can see kind of what they have coming. So if you want to join, I believe you can start getting memberships already.
Cool. In terms of all the different events, if they're full, so the ones that the online ones shouldn't be full, but if there are the in-person ones that are full, as I said earlier, there's lots of things that are happening throughout the year. So keep an eye on the website and sign up. But there'll be lots of different activities going on this term throughout the year. So again, don't feel like you need to miss out. Is there a deadline for joining the societies and clubs? In theory, no, but I suppose to get the most out of things, the earlier the better, and you can form those relationships with different kind of club and group members. But again, if you're not coming till January, you can still join then, so you can join whenever, really. Somebody asked about student media. Again, through the Welcome Fair, go and have a chat to the different student media groups. On campus here, we've got really great facilities, so you can get in touch with them then, and they're looking for new people to come and help write or do video or filming or DJing or whatever every year. And definitely the facilities are world class. We have a kind of dark room, photo editing suite, all sorts. So it's really great, and I'd really recommend that. Digital Freshers Fair, is this something we can access via the Elpam app or on a separate page? It's all through the Welcome app. So there is a desktop version of it, but you just go to the app stores and you can download it. Someone has asked, social distancing has made me feel quite lonely after the few months. And so for us who'll be taking the first term by distance, will there be any facilities for us to virtually hang around with other people from King's? So I think the top things for them are definitely sign up to any of the virtual events. I think also through the Welcome Fair app, you can start to chat to people and find people with other common interests. And I think also chat to people within your course. So either through the kind of academic reps, there might be more kind of formal community set up, but also I think you can just try and set up your own groups with people that you know are within your course and things like that too. Any other tips, Red One, on that one?
Yeah, just to add as well, I'm conscious that groups as well, they have their own informal and formal communities. So like when you join groups or societies, usually they have like a Facebook group between them or something of the sort. I know I was part of like a few Facebook groups last year when I joined some societies. So that's also something you might be able to explore. And obviously the benefits of joining like that is if you're joining a group, most likely you're interested in kind of what they have to offer. So the people you'll speak to are kind of similar interest to you. So that's kind of a really good positive.
And someone's asked about being under 18. So we do have under 18 events, and a lot of our spaces are alcohol-free spaces. So whether you're under 18 or over 18 and not a drinker, that's totally fine. We've got chill out spaces in the meadow and our cafes and stuff like that. So I think don't feel concerned if you're under 18. Going through all the different kind of groups and societies and networks and those kind of things, none of that matters. And we obviously have non-alcohol events too that people can get involved. Somebody's asked about their timetable. That's not us, unfortunately, that's King's. But I would hope that you guys are getting that soon, just so you can start to get an idea of what your first couple of weeks will look like. When will the society start posting their workshops for the Welcome Fair? So we've actually got or so societies, and at least 200 of them have said that they want to run online events during the fair, which is excellent. So we are looking at publishing that timetable next week. We're just finalising that timetable, and then you'll be able to start kind of building your own days throughout the Welcome Fair, just to know who you want to go and listen to and stuff like that. We've had this question a lot. How many societies do you think people should join? I think there's no set number. I think try and find the different interests, and they can be obviously quite different interests, and give it a go. I think you also have to make sure that you balance looking after your own well-being and time for studying. So I think there's no set number. Definitely give a couple of different ones that you might fancy a go, but just make sure you have enough time to look after yourself as well.
I would say though, usually when in people, like when they first join, usually the way it goes is in the first year people have like the highest number of societies they're part of. Second year it's like a subset of those, and then third year it's kind of like, I definitely like these societies. So that's usually how it goes. You start off with like, I'll put my hand in every pot, see how it is, and generally it works quite well because you get a taste of kind of everything King's has to offer, and then as time goes on you kind of narrow it down because you get busier with other things as well.
Cool. Somebody's asked about sports clubs training and competing this semester. Will that be postponed to semester 2? So I'm sure, as a lot of people are aware, the UK government have said just in the past day or two about groups of 6 coming together and that being the limit. That, however, doesn't actually apply to some educational settings. So at the moment, our sports kind of head is looking at how we can still carry on doing some of the training and some of the competitions, obviously keeping things safe, but kind of aligning with our charitable education purposes. We're hoping that that will still be able to go ahead, which is good news. Do you think students that are commuting are at a disadvantage when socialising? I'd say definitely not. We do live at home events, and we'll be doing them throughout the term. And I think one tip I have for that as well is the days that you are coming on campus, check out what events are on, make use of our spaces if you want to go for a coffee with people from your course, that type of thing. Redwan, I think you're a commuter student, are you? Any tips there?
Yeah. To be honest, I think we had a few commuter events earlier on in the year. There's no kind of specific tips I would give per se. It's just like as time goes on, you figure out your own routine. There's no like one size fits all, unfortunately. It depends kind of where you live in London, how long it takes you to commute in, etc. But eventually you kind of figure out people that travel from similar areas, and then you kind of have synced up routines almost.
So somebody's asked about the changing guidelines and whether our events will still be taking place. As of now, yes, because if you think about the way the booking system is, we'll be following UK guidelines. So if you wanted to book, say, pizza, going for dinner in the Vault with friends, you'd need to make sure that there was no more than 6 of you, I think, per party, just like you would do going to any bar or restaurant and stuff like that throughout London. So yes, we are planning to continue to do that as well. Somebody's asked about face-to-face welcome events happening. Similar thing, yes, we still plan for them to go ahead, just very much following the guidelines of the government about groups of 6 kind of being together and things like that. Let's keep going. So many questions, and any we don't get to answer today within the hour, I will then stay on and try and answer them just by writing some things too. How do you get contacted with the school for those doing remote study? So I think that's a question around faculties, and I'm guessing that you guys should be able to get in touch with your faculties now and should have all those kind of details. Redwan, I don't know if you want to add just about what faculty contact usually looks like at the start of term.
So there should be a generic email address set up by each department, faculty as well, that send you kind of updates, and it will be kind of managed by someone who's an admin looking after your school or department. And it would be like a very generic email address, and you'd know who this person is because like you'd get an excessive amount of updates from them right at the start. So you'd have that email in your inbox somewhere, and usually any questions you can direct to them. and then they can kind of signpost you to the most relevant person in the school.
Cool. Someone has asked about, can we just walk into campus and access the hubs and shops currently? So the current rules are, you obviously are allowed to come onto campus if you have teaching those days, and you're also allowed to come into campus if you have like extracurricular things or social events booked in. So say if your timetable says you're in on a Tuesday and Wednesday, but then you have a group and society meet up on a Thursday evening, just because you don't have teaching on the Thursday doesn't mean you can't come in. You can still come in for KCLSU group and society stuff or kind of social events and things like that. The shop is in our Bush House Strand campus, so that is kind of open 9 to 5 that any member of the public can go in. So yes, you can kind of come whenever you want, really. Somebody's asked about freebies and peds and USB drives. So the great place to get the freebies is through the Welcome Fair, and there may be other bits and bobs kind of handed out around campus as well and stuff like that too. So keep your eyes peeled, and I think there'll be some good deals definitely through the Welcome Fair, which is quite exciting. Everything from pizza to all sorts, I think. So what else? How and when do we start joining societies? So basically from the Welcome Fair onward, you can start doing that. And again, download the app and start going on and having a look at all the different ones and see what kind of stuff there is that takes your fancy. Let's keep going. People are still asking about the timetables. We obviously have to hurry things up on that one, so hopefully you'll all get that soon. Is this platform for only undergraduates or PG2? Yes, this is definitely for everyone. So I think you might be talking about the Welcome Fair, but it's for undergrads, for postgrads, for people in second and third year if they want to as well, because don't forget, some people might not have joined stuff in their first year and decide in second year, actually I want to have a go and try something new. KCLSU is very conscious of making postgrads kind of feel part of our community. Often they obviously are doing slightly different work or leading slightly different lifestyles to undergrads. So Redwan's a postgrad himself. He can maybe talk to you a bit more about that while I keep looking through the questions.
Yeah, I think for postgrads, there's specific events run for postgrads as well, and usually they're organized by postgrads. So I think a good one I remember from last year is the vice president postgrad actually ran kind of a pizza and social right at the start of the year for postgrads across Kings to kind of get together, get to know each other, and kind of build that community. And I know that some societies as well, they run kind of postgrad specific events as well, because our timetable, sometimes it's slightly different to how the undergrad timetable is. So we can't make the usual event times of some societies, and it's the same for Kings. There will be like general events as well, like feel free to come by if you're able to, but there are kind of specific events tailored towards postgrads as well. And when I say postgrads, it's not just the master students, but if anyone here is a PhD students, you're all also part of KCLSU. So these events, they're open to you as well.
Cool. Somebody's asked about job opportunities. So the union is a great employer for students. Again, it's another way to get new CV skills, but also meet people and make friends and stuff. And you'll also find that a lot of students that join KCLSU as student staff often then stay on and become kind of permanent members of staff too. So this year, I think there'll be lots of different opportunities. There's currently one which actually is in my team for marketing assistants. So that's helping us with everything from social media to blog content writing. We have photo and video assistants. There's some teams like finance and HR often hire student staff to help with kind of admin things. And then we have the hubs desks and kind of ambassadors for doing different events, as well as our venue staff. So lots of different things, and you don't have to have loads of experience. I think just a good smile on your face and enthusiasm is a good way to get in there. And yeah, it's a great way to start meeting people too. Let's keep going. Somebody's asked about a UPay and Totem card. So Totem is a thing that you can get through us, and it gives you lots of discounts. Redwan, do you want to talk about that and about the difference between it and UPay?
Yeah, so Totem is essentially a card that's given by the NUS, and You can use it to verify your student status as well in a lot of shops, and then you can get the app. And there's like, on top of the discounts Totem offers, you get discounts in our venues as well, venues and cafes, in the shops, etc. Usually, I'm not entirely sure what it is, but just one quick update on Totem. So usually, you used to be able to order it to the hubs desk and then collect it, but I'm conscious, I believe that's suspended for now. So you'd have to order it to your house. And just as an FYI as well, you don't have to wait for your card to start using the discount. So once you've purchased it, they should give you kind of details on how you can get set up on the app. And once you have the app, you can start using your discount. And there's like a few variations that Totem includes. So there's one where they add an ID feature as well that you can use as an alternate form of ID that you can get. And then there's like different plans. So you can get 1 year plan, 2 year plan, 3 year plan. If you like, I would obviously recommend the 3 year plan if you're undergrads, or PhD students, only because you get cheaper per year price doing that. If you're postgrad, I would probably say get the 1 year one, and then before you finish, buy a 3 year one, because then you can use the student discounts even when you stop being a student. So that's kind of a nifty trick. So yeah, that's kind of Totem. If you have specific questions as well, feel free to pop an email over to like one of the hubs desks, or just like ask us. And there's like other information on the website as well. And I think we list all the different discounts that we have in the Totem office as well on the website.
Cool. Someone's asked about, there's been a lot of questions actually about joining societies. So once you've had a look and had a listen and had a chat to people through the Welcome Fair app, you can purchase your kind of society memberships in a couple of different ways. So you can go to the website and go to each society page and get more information there. And Redwan, you can also do it at hubs desks, can't you?
Yeah, so usually we take card and cash, but for the foreseeable future, we're only taking card payments, and I believe contactless card payments only. So yeah.
When we join a society, do we automatically become a member? Yes. So once you sign up, you're a member, and you should get the full benefits of whatever that group and society are kind of offering and things like that. Someone's asked about how can I contact people from my course? Redwan, any insight there? What's the best way, especially if things are more online?
So what usually happens, and this is kind of not a formalized thing, but some courses, they set up a Facebook group with students. So I know my one, even though we weren't online when we started, we got emailed kind of a link to join a Facebook group, and then from then on, like, you just informally started creating Facebook groups and whatnot, like in Messenger and stuff. Another, like, I don't know if schools are doing this, but when you have your timetables, so schools run like a mini welcome thing alongside our welcome. So your school should have some form of induction where like a bunch of you get popped into one platform. I don't know what that will be this year. It might be on Microsoft Teams where you can speak to each other. It might be on Facebook. I'm not entirely sure because it looks different from school to school. But I know like end of September, start of October, every school should have like some version of an induction where you meet like your tutors, you meet like the faculty, and then you get to meet other people doing the course as well.
And again, I've seen people on the Welcome app in the chat say, "Hi, I'm Lisa, and I'm doing, you know, biomedical science or whatever," and then people going, "Yay, so am I." So I think again, just say hi there, or look through the feed to see if you can see people who are doing similar things and make contact there.
If I quickly can also add, there's also like academic specific societies. So let's say you do something in biosciences. It might be worthwhile to check out Bioscience Society. I don't know if that's the exact name, but I know there's like tons and tons of academic societies, and generally speaking, people from your course, like either senior or junior, would be in those groups or in that vicinity. So like that's also a good way to kind of find out who's on your course.
Great, and I think that kind of answers the question around getting to know second and third year students within your course. And I think also chat to your tutors. They will obviously have taught previous years, can maybe help buddy up with people that are kind of in years above you that have gone through things before. So remember, your personal tutors are kind of great people just to ask questions on and get kind of recommendations and tips from. So they keep coming in. Somebody's asked about an Erasmus Society. I'm not sure if there is, but the best way to double check is to go on the Welcome app or our website and just search. There probably is, and if it's not Erasmus, there might be something quite similar. So yes, the best way to find any type of society, remember there's 300, so it's hard to remember what they all are, but definitely go on the website and the Welcome app and have a look. And I think you'll be amazed at all the different types of societies there are to do things, which is awesome. Someone has also asked about, is it possible to join societies any time of the year? Yes, and again in second or third year, yes, go for it. You don't just have to be a fresher, you don't just have to be a first year. Is there a way to view the Welcome Fair on my computer? Yes, you can also download it as a kind of desktop version. You'll just again have to set up like a login profile type of thing. So that's another easy way to do it. People are asking about pizza events and that type of thing. Yes, we're still planning on doing them even within the new guidelines, because we will be able to fit with that, the bookings for 6 people and things like that too. Will there be trials to join the sports teams in January for those who will not be able to come in September? I would assume so, but that's something that I can double check and then feed back on the feed here, just with the sports teams. I think, again, obviously things are kind of moving quite quickly and changing quite quickly. So I think decisions might be made, but then things might change obviously closer to the time and stuff like that. Somebody's asked about rewatching this as a later date. Again, go back to the chat, and I'm gonna just after this post the recording so you can see everything that we've gone through and stuff like that too. Will societies be repeating talks throughout the 3 days of the Welcome Fair? I don't think they'll be repeating them, but they should be able to host their kind of video and stuff like that within their little section, so that you can go back and then obviously kind of rewatch and stuff like that. And because there's a great chat function within the app too, you can then go back and just ask questions as well if you miss things, because obviously there's a lot going on. So I think that's covering most things really. Yeah, the other questions coming through are kind of all similar. How do you access the digital fair on the Welcome app? The only events I could find are about CV writing and digital skills. Is there anything I'm missing out on? So it's a little bit confusing, but there's lots of different apps this year. So the Welcome app that we've been talking about, where the digital fair is called Welcome to KCLSU. Kings also have their own Welcome app. So that's, I think, the app you've been talking about there that talks about CV writing and skills and that kind of stuff. That's the Kings version. Through the Kings version, you will be able to see all the different online events that they're doing and we're doing. So it's a handy thing to have. And then KCLSU will also be launching, once people are on campus, a prepay app for the venue. So if you want to order your coffee and not have to stand in the queue and stuff like that, you'll be able to do that. That obviously helps with social distancing and things like that too. So I think we are probably going to wrap it up there. I just want to say a huge thanks to Redwan for doing a great job talking through everything, and just to wish you all the best of luck starting your career and your adventure at King's. And obviously, if anybody ever has any questions, you can contact us through all those different various ways, and we look forward to seeing you both virtually and in person when you start. Thanks.
Thanks, guys. Take care.